everybody, and welcome, Mark. Thanks. I guess this is our warm-up for the World Cup.
Yeah, our warm-up week.
No, our warm-up show.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of like the Boks in Japan.
Yeah, a game that I don't actually know why it's being played, but it is being played. I think you spoke about it. You said when they announced the schedule, it seemed like a good idea.
It's kind of like when you get, when you're with your wife and some friend, her friend usually says, "What are you guys doing on the November 10th?" And it's like nothing, of course, because who plans that far in advance? Next thing you know, you've committed to a dinner, and then on the 10th November, you invariably go, "Oh Jesus, we've got to go to that dinner." It's like, who are those people? Why are we doing this? And I think that's very much what happens in rugby. It's like these World Cup build-ups, like we were chatting about. You've got players that are playing in the game that aren't even part of the World Cup squad. Arguably, they're probably part of the next wave if injuries go very deep. But absolute ridiculous. I mean, Wales playing Ireland. Their warm-ups were against Ireland, England, Ireland.
Yeah, and I looked at that Wales one, and it's unfortunate because Wales lost their unbeaten run at home, playing with a beating.
We lost it at Twickenham.
Oh, I lost it at Twickenham. No, but the unbeaten record at home in Cardiff.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Against Ireland, but playing with a B team. So
a B? I thought it was a C team.
Yeah, I didn't know Wales had a C team, but I'll give it their B team. Okay.
Yeah.
I can't really say that because they've beaten us 3 of the last 4 times. But yeah, I look at these games. I look at the
Haven't
Australian.
we beaten you 3 of the last 3 times?
3 of the last 4. We managed to win 1 at the World Cup in 2015.
That's 4 years ago.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, yeah.
There was a time where you hadn't won, before 1998.
Yeah.
But if you look at the Australian side, I mean, there's 4 or 5 players that aren't going to the World Cup that are playing against Samoa on Saturday. New Zealanders have called in Josh Ione, who went to Buenos Aires with the All Black squad, seen as the 3rd choice to fly, but he's not going to the World Cup. He's been drafted in for the Tongan match. The only side that resembles the World Cup side is the Springboks side, and then the Japanese side for that game on Saturday. It's the side that will play against the All Blacks. And what I do like, though, about the Boks setup is their planning, and they just seem to be well on track. And you see New Zealand are very unsettled. They don't really know their best combination. Australia, England are playing around combinations. South Africa, from that rugby championship, where Rassie is like, that's my 15 that starts, and that's the one that plays against Australia and is the second choice one. And I really like the way he's gone about settling with his squad. I think the big thing for them on Saturday is they just don't get injuries to key players. But yeah, I mean, it's for me, the biggest surprise is that Japan have taken this game, because there's all this wonderful hype around Japan. They're the host, but they take a big one, and the reality kicks in that they're not going to go beyond the quarterfinals.
The reality should always be with Japan and everybody else is it is Japan. I mean, they're not a rugby nation, though. Eddie Jones put them on the map and probably put them too much on the map, and created this false expectation. I mean, to me, the upset in the World Cup with the Boks was the biggest rugby upset in history.
It was, because you look at that Boks side from that day, and there's 8 or 9 survivors. They had a bloody good team that went out and lost to Japan.
Yeah.
And that same team went out and pushed New Zealand in the semi-final. Probably the strongest New Zealand side ever.
Yeah.
And I think that's also the cycle.
And again, the last time you managed to beat the mighty Welsh.
Yeah, that as well, in the quarterfinal, thanks to a late try.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like you said, it's Japan, and I mean, people are saying, "Oh, they beat us last time. We got to show them respect." South Africa, by right, should smash them by 50. I think
James Dalton wrote about that in his column. Give too much airtime to the Japanese, and I think it is. I don't see. It is a ridiculous game, but Rassie's put out his full squad. To run on squad.
Yeah, I think it will be closer to 30, but they should. If you look at the quality of the 2 teams, there's a 50-point differential between the 2 teams. We look at New Zealand last year. They played in Japan. It was pretty much their second string side. They won 69-31. Everyone was raving. Japan got 31 points, but New Zealand got 69. I think to put down a proper marker as well, the Boks should smash them. I mean, I know the conditions are hot. I've read all week.
Well, what would be good enough for you? I mean, because this is the unfortunate thing about the game is it doesn't matter what the score is, other than if the Boks were to lose. I mean, South Africa win by 10, 20, 30, 40. It's either going to be too little, but it's never going to be too much.
Yeah, I think for me, I just want them to go in and smash Japan, because they should smash Japan. And be in a good headspace for that opening game against New Zealand, because they've got that opening game and then there's nothing for a month. They play Canada, Namibia and Italy. So those are 3 pool games that you could take a provincial side there and win it with them. So New Zealand and them know that's the big one, and then it's the quarterfinal either against an Ireland or against a Scotland, because I can't see Japan progressing out of that group and making the quarterfinals. But yeah, I just want to see a clinical, strong display, and that they play like a championship side or a side that potentially could be the world champions, and they crush a side that is so inferior to them in terms of quality and talent. And I think they've talked up Japan this week. You know, Rassi said a movie was made the last time we played them. We don't want to see.
Have you seen the movie?
No, I haven't. Yeah. I saw the match. It was a horrific announcement.
Where were you when that match?
I was in my lounge room watching it, and you just knew it was coming. I spoke to John Smith as well a couple of months after that, and he was at the ground, and he said that wave of momentum was coming. And as they got that ball in that last stretch, he said, you just knew they were going to actually score. And the one thing that has always amazed me is that no one has ever taken Jesse Creel on about the missed tackle, because the try came from the handoff. He went in too high. He got handed off by a New Zealand club player who was playing for Japan. That created the space and the pass.
Yeah.
But there's the shock horror picture that they show of Jesse Creel, like just looking up at the heavens as like what just happened. But it was such a poor tackle attempt, and if he had just made the tackle, the move would have ended there, and South Africa would have had a narrow escape. But he's in that match 23, so maybe some demons get exercised tomorrow.
Maybe.
It's a defeat that should never have happened.
No.
And if we win by 50 plus, we shouldn't be surprised. We should expect it.
We won't win by 50. We won't win by 50. There'll be too many combinations played, subs used, guys wanting not to get injured, not putting their bodies on the line. I don't blame any of them for doing that. I mean, whereas the Japanese probably will play a bit more, with a bit more zeal, if you will. For me, the 20-point offer on Japan's a little, on South Africa to win, minus 20.5. I'll take the minus 20.5 on South Africa, give it to them, or take it away from them and say they're going to win by 21 or more points. Put $1,000 down on that to win back 1,900. Small bet, just a warm-up bet for the World Cup.
Okay.
Never hurt anybody, and I just can't see. I mean, it's a ridiculous scam.
Well, the key is that they don't lose anyone through injury.
Yeah, that to me would be. Can you imagine if you have to, if Faf gets out of the World Cup, or any of them, any of those 23, if they lose one player, and I predict in this World Cup that this will be the World Cup with the most injuries ever. When you look at when you look at just hosting a tournament in Japan with the humidity, there'll be a war of attrition. You know, people break down in those sort of conditions. I think the team that can cope with 6 to 7 injuries in the World Cup will win this World Cup.
All right, but so you've got 21, I've got 50, yeah? I won by 50 points.
Oh, so 50. You said they should win by 50.
I said they will. Yeah, they should, and I think they will.
Okay. Well, here we go. Let's see it. Let's see.
I'm confident.
What time's the kickoff?
12 o'clock, and that's the one beautiful thing about this World Cup. Midday kickoffs, so it's dangerous. You're either going to have a late breakfast, goes into lunchtime, or you're going to have a long lunch that goes into dinner time. But it's a wonderful time. Yeah. Midday tomorrow, everyone wear green. Support the Boks. Let's kind of just crush them. And because, my God, we don't want a situation where they run us close and everyone says it's doom and gloom for the World Cup. But New Zealand plays Tonga the next day. They'll crush them as well, 40 to 50 points in Hamilton. England are playing Italy. Eddie Jones wanted to play all 31 players, which shows you how he's taken that game. Give them a one-test status for it. They'll smash them. And then...
But Eddie just talks crap for the sake of talking crap. You know, he knows how to get a headline and get someone. People have been talking about this story, Eddie Jones wanting 31 players, for the last week and a half. So he does exactly what he wants to. He's like the Malema of rugby, the populist guy.
So so it's, and then the favourites, Wales away against Ireland, and Ireland went from being absolute no hopers for the World Cup to now being one of the strongest.
But this is the ridiculousness of the media. I mean, the game against Wales, I couldn't name one of those players that played in the Welsh side. I went and had a few drinks with an Irish guy, and we had a good night out. And I never for once thought we were winning the game. You know, at no stage did I think we were going to win the game. But he was quite nervous after taking 50 against England. But anyway, these games are ridiculous.
All right, so
Boks by 26. You say Boks by 50.
50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's ballsy. Okay. Well, let's see how it goes.
Thanks.
Okay.